Testing time. Question, experiment, learn. Episode 7. Suppressor Myths. Galil and SPAS-12. The first of the two myths in this video is that the Galil with the suppressor has the same exact range as the Galil without a suppressor. Now, traditionally in the Call of Duty series, when you put a suppressor on a weapon, it decreases the range. And on screen are the attributes for the Galil with a suppressor and without a suppressor. And as you can see, when you don't have a suppressor equipped, the range is a lot longer. Now, this is taken directly from the PC code, so we know it's accurate for the PC. So the myth is basically that, for whatever reason, on the console, when the suppressor is attached to the Galil, it doesn't suffer this range decrease as all the other assault rifles do. The second myth is that the SPAS with the suppressor has the same range as without it. Now, in Modern Warfare 2, when you could put suppressors on shotguns, it decreased the range, and because of that, the pellets disappeared earlier. And that made the shotguns a lot less useful in certain situations. I was pretty sure this myth was true before I tested it, but I just wanted to make sure, because you never know. We tested this first myth by finding a range where if it is true, it will take 3 rounds with and without the suppressor. But if it's not true, it'll take 3 rounds without the suppressor, and it will take 4 rounds with the suppressor. So let's see what happened. There's 3 rounds without the suppressor, and here's the moment of truth. And there's 4 rounds with the suppressor. So that means this myth is busted. Up next is the control test with the commando, and this just shows that the results that happen with the Galil is exactly the same with most of the other assault rifles.
Ready for deployment. RCXD ready for launch.
To test this second myth, I fire at this red door from one location with the unsuppressed and suppressed SPAS, and then a second location. The first location is right at the edge of the range of the shotgun. So that means that if the unsuppressed version is leaving pellet marks and the suppressed version is not, that means that this myth is busted. But if they're both leaving pellet marks at this range, that means it is true. And the second location is just slightly back just to reinforce the first conclusion. And as you saw, this myth is confirmed. And I know that because in the first 2 rounds of firing, they were both leaving pellet marks at the same exact range with the 2 different weapons. And then when I moved back just slightly, they both were not leaving marks. So the range is exactly the same on both of them. So in conclusion, myth 1 is busted. The Galil is affected by the suppressor like all the other assault rifles. And myth 2 is confirmed. The suppressor on the SPAS does not affect the range at all. This video was inspired by the You Ain't Grizz Baby podcast. Bam, said the lady.